Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and I'm doing that early morning ASMR voice so I don't wake up the neighbors. This is Iceman 8, and I was very, very excited to buy this on the stands. I've roasted every single issue of Iceman. They've all been. No, like the third one was almost okay, and even Mim Headroom and me both did videos where it was almost okay, and then it just went back to being absolutely horrible. Um, there was no real reason, like, Iceman's not really a compelling enough character for an ongoing. He doesn't have an interesting storyline. He's just gay. And I'm going to create a phrase that every SJW will purposefully misconstrue. He is horribly gay, in that he is a horrible person who is gay. It's kind of shocking the ways they've gone with this. He might be the worst human being. He's definitely the worst hero. And we're going to see that he's basically a hero in name only. So we start off with this picture. Yes, he wears a romper because this is written by, in my opinion, a self-hating gay man who absolutely loathes gay people and thinks they're ridiculous and stupid, and he wants to portray them that way. So he's making I don't know, he's screaming. You're gonna find out why he's angry, and it's gonna make you hate him even more. The weird thing is, they say heart of ice, and that is, I don't think they mean it the way it's portrayed, but it's accurate. He's most less likely a sociopath and a psychopath. But I gotta do a little stop because I've been excited about CB Cebulski hired as editor in chief, but we got another 4 to 6 months of Axel Alonso trash. I want you to look at this cover for Guardians of the Galaxy 50 and just revel in the awfulness of it. From the logo that looks like it was made in an introduction to Photoshop, to taking some kind of good art, a little boring but good Alex Ross art, and making it almost the smallest feature, desaturated, half the page, and then putting these giant blocks of text that just tell you this is going to lead you up to something else you should buy. Oh, it's awful. So anyway, they have this. Bobby recently rescued a new mutant named Zack. He's a new mutant, but he's not a new mutant. And brought him to the Xavier Institute to learn to control his ability to amplify power levels in people and objects. So, Stina Grace created a character with a power that's already existed before. Shortly thereafter, the boy was lured away by Daken, the morally depraved mutant son of Wolverine. That's a pretty mean way of saying his gay son, morally depraved. Are you trying to say that they're the same thing? So, while in Los Angeles reminiscing with his former champion's teammates, Bobby Drake went on his first date with a man named Judah. I could do a whole video on that sentence. First of all, he wasn't just in LA reminiscing. It was a wake for a friend of his who died in combat. He then decided it was a great time to have his first gay sex encounter and gay date, and immediately become boyfriends with the first guy he has sex with, and now he's planning to move in with him. Okay, that's just the first half of the sentence. Then Bobby Drake went on his first date with a man named Judah. That is, who is the editor of this? Chris Robinson, Darren. Okay. You meant to say his first date with a man who was named Judah. You just implied that he's been on numerous dates with other men, but he's never been on a date with a man named Judah. Well, I have also never been on a date with a man named Judah. So give me my own Marvel comic. With a budding romance on the West Coast and no X-Men duty in the near future, Bobby is considering moving to Los Angeles. So he hooked up with a guy at his friend's kind of sort of funeral. and he's going to move cross country with him and abdicate his responsibilities. Okay. So then it's like, until then, when not teaching, he juggles time with his family, to whom he recently came out, and his time-displaced younger self. So, okay, we get some more badly done ads. Did you guess that the first thing and the only thing Bobby and his younger self are talking about is, wait, he hasn't called you in how long? Yep, it's dating. It's dating. Because this is, I was going to call it propaganda, but I don't think anyone would read this book and not come away with a negative view of gay people. It makes them look like stereotypes, shallow, sociopaths, scenesters. It's awful. So, what else could I even do? Would it kill Romeo to text more? Make me not feel like I'm super needy? You are super needy. Also, you're... Okay. I'm not an expert on gay teens, but I thought the whole thing was they weren't really into, like, monogamy and dating, and it was just, like, hookup culture. And seriously, the guy's name is Romeo. I can't. It's like, did I do something wrong? Is it because I wore bowling shoes unironically? It isn't because I jokingly said Medusa's hair was a bit much. I could beat the Terrigen out of him if I didn't want to kiss that stupid face. This appears to me to be someone who absolutely hates gay people. Thinks they're clowns and wants to point that out to the world. The fact that it's a gay man writing it is just confusing. And then the adult Bobby talks to the child Bobby and says, "Hey, best of both worlds idea. I beat that star-crossed ghosting snot from making baby me feel gloomy, and you kiss it better. You're so sweet, or you're taking self-involved to meta levels. Knowing me, knowing you, my guess is the latter. The two are not mutually exclusive, and I'm buttering you up for a favor." Okay, so let's talk about this. This is the second time adult Bobby Drake has talked, he knocked out a teenager. Right cross, knocked him out. When there was like 50 other different options to not knock him out. Now he's joking about beating up a boy for the crime of no longer wanting to hook up with his younger self. This is psychotic. This is disgusting. I'm tired of these alt lifestyle extreme left freakazoids taking over Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics is supposed to be mainstream. No, this is not about having gay characters. This is about having horrifically gay characters, in that they are horrible and gay. So then they talk about how their parents want to meet for dinner. They're very excited to meet the younger version of their son. Then they do the classic SJW thing where they beat the villain easily. This scene is just absolutely horrible. So Dakin, who is being written completely out of character, is with this stupid character named Zach. Hurts me to say that. So then he puts him into a bar to steal a ring, but it turns out he was lying. It's not a magic ring. He just wanted it as whatever. So then we get the limited series. Wait, all SJW era Marvels are limited series. Yes, that's my radiator in the background. So we get Rogue and Gambit. This could be my last chance to make up with Rogue, if we both survive, that is. If that old swamp rat wants to use this excuse as an excuse to get back together, I'll send him straight back to the bio. Okay, first of all, it's horrible writing. Second of all, heterosexuality is never the answer. So then we get some texting between Bobby and his grinder hookup, who he's now in a relationship with across country. This is disgusting. Judah, Wait, there really is another you out there in the world? Bobby Drake. Yes, and please no smutty jokes. I've heard them all, and he's underage. So, again, portraying gay people as deviants, where you actually have to say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I know you're about to make a underage sex joke. I need you to stop." Ugh, fine. Dinner's gonna run like what, 3 hours? If I'm lucky. So then they're gonna move. Okay, so here's. Oh. One of the things about SJWs is they have terrible sense of humor, but they think they can do this meta thing where if they say, "Oh, he's known for having a bad sense of humor," people who have bad sense of humor don't know they have one. Usually, when it's pointed out to them, they stop because they're ashamed. This whole thing where you have a bad sense of humor and you know it's bad, and you're not a dad doing dad jokes. You're just like some 8-year-old. So he goes into the restaurant where his parents are seated right here, and he goes, "Mom, Dad, I'm over here, hey." And then the dad says, "Grown." So I guess this is like a shtick that Bobby thinks it's funny to be 20 feet away and then scream like an idiot in front of all these normal people having dinner. Then they're waiting for the younger version. So then it's like, we get to see that Bobby is a complete sociopath. "Well, it's nice to see you, Bobby. How have you been since? Went to L.A., mourned a dead friend, fought Sentinels. That was just Wednesday." That's not how you talk about a friend who died in combat. That's not even gallows humor. That's just being a sociopath. So, then the childless weirdness of this is really making me think that I need to call a law enforcement agency on somebody involved in making this, because so the younger version, who's like 15, says, "Hey, I'm in the bathroom, but I can't see them yet. There's something wrong with me." "No way, Ice Toddler. They will eat me alive if you're a no-show." "Help! I'm redefining cold feet." So he's nervous, so he gets iced up, which is almost kind of an interesting story element, except for get up. I've dealt with being perma-icy before. The only way you'll un-ice is by facing them. Look who's a little embarrassed by his frosted tips. Then the younger Bobby kind of acts like a normal person. He says, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Sorry for looking like this." Oh, I forgot to mention that earlier when 15-year-old Bobby was told by 25-year-old Bobby that he was going to meet his parents in the current day, he goes, "It's going to be so weird to see them all old and wrinkly." You're just going to see them 10 years older than... I mean, your parents are obviously 80. So the last time you saw them, they were 70. So then they're all happy to see the younger version. They're very affectionate. And then Bobby says, "Nope, not a dream." He's pinching himself. "Did my parents get woke?" First of all, just a little art direction question. Why are you so far down in this panel? Why is there so much space above you? And why is everything slipping? Watch this. I'm going to hold my hand. Watch this. Look, now everything fits in the panel. Okay. So, then they talk about they're very happy to see him, but they're doing coochie coo like God, these people who don't have kids. It's like they're space aliens. You don't coochie coo on a 15-year-old if you're the mother. That's a really old school thing that like an aunt would do. An aunt that didn't have kids, or a grandma. He looks exactly like the old pictures, William. What? It's your son younger. Of course your son younger looks like your son younger. So then they're happy, and then Bobby's like, "Oh, am I in the Mojoverse? Long shot. Can you pop out now, please?" The thing is that it's been very clear in every issue they've been in that his parents love him. They're confused by him suddenly becoming not just gay, but cartoonishly flamboyantly gay, and they're wondering where the old Bobby went. In the story universe, this completely makes sense, but the creators are ignoring it like he's always been this flamboyantly gay person, when it's obviously not true. So Then the old people, he says, "You're a gift from God," to which the 25-year-old atheist has to make fun of that. So watch out. Keep talking Bible with Dad, and he'll never let you go. Yeah, it could lead to him caring about you and worrying about your future and noticing when your personality completely changes. Could you imagine if I showed up to Sunday school like this? In the Marvel Universe in 2017, it really wouldn't be a big deal. Why don't you say mosque? Like, oh, because all Christians are bigots. I get it. I'd give you $15 to do it. You could, if you wanted to, come to church on Sunday or back home. Look at the longing of the mother just to reconnect with her son again. It's beautiful. To which apparently all gay people are sociopaths. Semi-strange mom says, what? You could come back home to us. Finish high school, pursue your dreams. We've got a nice room for you in a big house you haven't seen yet. And then Bobby laughs like an absolute psychopath. I actually stopped reading it when I got to this point. I was so angry, and I was just like, it's the same thing with that Max Bemis. The SJW era Marvel, Axel Alonso era Marvel, has literally, and the comic book industry kind of at large at Image, and they have decided that the industry is only for far left extremist, childless, alt lifestyle freakazoids who hate normal people, who hate normal life, who hate most of the norms of human society for all time. The bad guys were right. I am an idiot. What are you going on about? This was a trap. And I thought I was just being jealous. But you found a perfect version of your son to start over with. How are you going to explain to everyone that I got all Benjamin Button? So they're like, well, we'll say it's a nephew. Wow, you've really thought this through. You two are frickin' mental. So, it's disgusting. Never mind that this is a smack in the face to me. Do you even know what I wanted when I was his age? 'Cause truth bomb, it was never to stay in Long Island and get a job that gives you bragging rights. So his horrible, horrible parents want to raise him, give him a home, and teach him how to earn a living and get a house. So he says, this boy is a second chance for everyone, Robert. Uh-oh, full name time. You're here and you've proven a point that you're going to live life your way. We can raise this boy right and you can go save the world. It's a win-win. Hear me, Pops. Hank McCoy's time travel boo-boo is not a divine do-over for you. At the end of the day, this isn't my fight. So then, since horrible 28-year-old Bobby causes a scene at a restaurant, his younger version kind of freaks out. Then they, God, this is awful writing. So then they're trying to figure out what to do. Bobby is a horrible person. Quit gawking, everybody, like you've never seen a family from Long Island eating dinner. No, they've never seen a 28-year-old cause a huge scene to the point where his younger self basically has an ice seizure while being horrible to his parents who seem like very, very good people. Okay, what would Emma Frost say to me to snap me out of this? Weakling boy, you do not deserve the blessing of your mutant powers, vile sloth. Tough love is not the answer here. So then this is disgusting. Come on, baby Bobby, I think I know what's going on here. Mom and Dad, they can be big bad wolves, am I right? Let me tell you something, they're paper tigers. They have zero clue how hurtful their words are because they're come from a different generation. You just gotta trust me and make this a turn the other cheek moment. They just don't get it, who we are, what we want to be. They talk all about letting me pursue your dreams, but if they only knew what we wanted to be when I was your age, psst, don't think for a minute I forgot, Mr. Pastry Chef. This is absolutely disgusting. He's talking to his parents like they aren't there. They raised him. They sacrificed for him. They clearly love him, even though he's an asshole to them in every single. They don't want him to turn into what he is. They have never specifically say, we don't want you to turn out gay. We think we can get the 15-year-old gay version of you and mentor you into not being gay. They don't want you to be what you are now, Bobby. A 25 to 30-year-old sociopath who cares only about your next gay ex. Insert, next gay kiss, next gay hook, next gay boyfriend, next gay marriage, next gay is. You went to your friend's wake and turned it into a Grindr hookup. You talk about your parents as if they're demons right in front of them, right in public. You are the worst non-villain, and I cannot even really call you a non-villain I've ever read in a Marvel comic. They always say something weird and old school to make us feel guilty. Just like you'll always stick your tongue out to them and continue to do you. Just like I'll always be here for you, always. So then he gets out, and the parents are very concerned. Is this safe? Just pretend it's some massive Avon skincare product. Note to self, research powder for skincare purposes. So then the boy's just kind of embarrassed and happy to be back. Then they hug him, and they show that they were concerned about him and loved him. But the propaganda worked, and he says no. They say, basically, let's have dinner and finish dinner like a civilized family. It's like, excuse you? You two haven't changed one bit since I last saw you, except maybe you got weirder. I don't want to do this. I don't have to do this. You want to spend time with a spare son? Do it on my terms. Next time, I'll be on ice form on purpose, and I'm bringing my boyfriend, whom I kiss in public. Again, I have to emphasize for people not looking at the screen, I'm not making up this dialogue. So then the older one says, all right, I'll get him to 90s acceptable gay while you handle the check. We'll take a family selfie and call it a night. You're siding with them? So then they make these statues of them acting like idiots. He's like, I give it 20 minutes before they realize that ain't us. So you're going to leave after causing a huge scene, you're going to leave your parents hanging for 20 minutes in the restaurant. You completely humiliated them. Come on, let me show you how to make the greatest snow cone known to mankind. This may be the last lesson to impart before I'm West Coast Iceman. So, I can't show all the pages, but he decides to, his boyfriend shows up in kind of a ripoff of Say Anything. And then young Bobby calls his teen Grindr hookup to yell at him for not continuing to hook up. This is disgusting. This is, I was going to call this gay propaganda. It's pretty much anti-gay propaganda. I'm disgusted with the writer and the character. The characters, the older and younger version of Iceman, they're horrible people. And kind of sad now. Anyway, but this is kind of fake. So Legacy has been doing this thing where they've been doing one-shots, and then they'll say part 1 of 1. But there is a next issue. It's Bobby being penetrated behind by a sweaty ethnic man with lipstick on. Yep. Okay. So anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. Thanks to everyone giving Super Chat and the Patreon. You're funding original content. I'll have more videos up later today.